Good morning, everyone. No, good day, everyone. By the way, I am Dariel John Himero, and today we are going to talk about the Cask of Amontillado. This is a classic in literature, and I know that most of you have already heard about this a couple times over in your literature class way back in high school, but never fully or finally sitting down with it, listening to the gist of its story. But now finally we've come to that moment. But of course, before we delve into the story, let us first get to know the author who wrote about this, and this is the work of Edgar Allan Poe. So Edgar Allan Poe was born on January 19 in the year of 1909 in Boston, Massachusetts. So Edgar Allan Poe is an American writer. He is a poet, a literary critic, and as well as the best known for his work for horror, mystery, and psychological fiction. Also, Edgar Allan Poe is known for belonging in a broken family, wherein at a very young age or in the early stages of his life, he was separated from his siblings as well as um, left by his parents. But of course, a relative took him, which is John Allan. But later on, as he grows up in his young adult years, there was some disputes and arguments with regards of money and scholarship. So Edgar Allan Poe perhaps took a different route, took a different path and venture on his own. But one thing not to forget about him is that it was the best path he ever took, becoming one of the figures in literature. So one of the formidable works or notable works that we've known when it comes to Edgar Allan Poe is this one. We have here The Raven. What else? The Telltale Heart. We also have The Black Cat. We also have The Fall of the House of Usher. And of course, the one that we are going to delve in today, which is The Cask of Amontillado. Another fun uh, just a fact. Another fact, he actually died on October 7th in 1849 because who knows? No one knows. Under mysterious circumstances, no one knows the cause of his death, which alludes or further contributed to the dark image that already associated with him in his writings, in his literary legacy. Right? We know him as someone who writes something gothic, something with the atmosphere heavy enough to scare our soul, right? So the cause of his death is unknown. So what's up? Anyway, besides that, Edgar Allan Poe really greatly influenced the Gothic fiction in psychological storytelling of the modern writers, American writers as well. His stories often explores guilt, paranoia, revenge, moral corruption, and because of this writing style, he became one of the most foundational figures in not just American literature, but I think in literature in totality, right? Okay, now let's proceed to the formalist analysis. So, in formalist analysis, finally, we are going to delve into the characters, the plot, the themes, as well as our analysis of the story. Okay. So, the first we have here is Montresor. So, he is a character, a narrator, a main character of the story. He is intelligent, deeply manipulative, patient, and deeply revengeful. Throughout the story, he carefully plans to bring Fortunato somewhere with great wine and is very friendly. So, to avoid some spoilers, he is one of the main character. There are only two main characters of this story of the cask of Amontillado. That's to remember. The one of the most disturbing parts of his character is his calmness. Just take note of that. Again, one of the most disturbing parts of his character is his calmness. He narrates the convincing of Fortunato to drink wine, which is something to talk about. Anyway, the next character is Fortunato. So, Fortunato is the main lead in the story, although his name suggests fortune. He ironically experienced something to do with fate. But later on, we will know what fate is that. He is prideful, especially regarding with wine tasting. His arrogance and intoxication becomes the reason why Montresor successfully invites him for a wine. And yeah, that's another character that I want to talk about more because we are going to do. The next is the setting of the story. So we have the carnival. This is where the story begins. So the carnival, um, this is where it started, and then we also have the catacombs, one of the most important setting in the story, because the catacomb is beneath Montresor's home. So we will know more about it later on. I don't want to spill any detail, and as, just for you to know, it's an underground burial chamber. And burial chamber way back before, like the catacombs are only for the rich families that are buried underneath their homes. So you can imagine skulls, skeletons, or from families that are really rich, right? Another one is the underground vaults. So the underground vaults, this is a further deeper more section of the catacombs. This is where the actual climax or setting of the story really happen, which we are about to know later on. Okay? The deeper the character moves into the vaults, the more story we are going to tell later on. Now let's proceed to the plot of the story. Of course, we are going to start with the exposition. So what happened in the first part of the story? So in this exposition, quote unquote, I put in here um thousand injuries of Fortunato I had borne best as I best could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. So this is the first, when you read the Cask of Amontillado, this is the first line that you will read. And in this line, it already foreshadows something is about to happen. Again, if we are going to read it, the thousand injuries of Fortunato I had borne as I best could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. So we can see that there is a little bit tension between Fortunato and the speaker, which is Montresor. So this opening line already establishes that there is a conflict of the story, right? It introduces the narrator's obsessive mindset. So nahimo ni siya or nahitabo ni siya sa carnival. That's why nagput kong picture there para ma-introduce ang setting, which is nahitabo ni siya sa carnival season wherein na ay celebration, but at the same time the celebration na ay isa ka tawo nga nagplano something diha. So we are about to know about it. Next is in the rising action. So, while na sila sa carnival and they were like drinking together with all of the other people right there, isa sa mga nahitabo dito were in they talk about wine. So, ang nahitabo kasi nito, when they talk about wine, um, this, what do you call this? Kani si Fortunato, he's the type of person who is really boastful. So he boasts about a lot of things, that he is expert in a lot of things. And one of the things that he is expert, he talks about being experts in wine, Italian wine. That's why um, he was like boasting, I know how to detect or know the difference between a cherry wine and Amontillado wine. So they were having chit chats together with other people and with Lucchesi. So kani siya si Lucchesi, isa ni siya ka wine expert. So um naa po didto sa ilahang tungod si Montresor na minaw ra pud sa ilaha. And then while they were having a chat together, boasting about something that, oh, I know how to taste wine. I know the difference between this wine and that wine. So ning kalitog ingon si Kuan um si tawag ani Montresor ana siya nga, my friend, no, I will not impose upon your good perceived sani my friend, no, I will not impose upon your good nature. I perceive you have an engagement, Lucchesi. Which is, ang gusto nga i-imply diri ni Montresor is, naa siya isa kadako nga wine, um, um, a cask of wine, daghan kayo nga wine, sa ilalom sa iyahang balay. So, di adto, gi-invite niya si Fortunato nga mukuyog sa iyaha, pakitaon niya sa iyang wine, ipanghambog niya nga nakoy nga nga wine or hatagan niya si Fortunato og wine. So, of course, para dili pud makuha ang boastfulness ni Fortunato is ning sunod na lang pud siya ni Montresor. So, silang duha is nanghawa na sila sa carnival, ngadto na sila didto sa somewhere kung asa man gali itong wine nga gusto ipainom ni Montresor. Kay gi-claim ang good ni Kuan go Fortunato nga he is expert in wine. He has expertise when it comes to differentiating kung saan kalahian sa wine. So maybe moto siya ang ilang or himo nilang interaction, no? Moto siya ang nahimong interaction nila mong niadto sila dito. So the next plot is diri na. Diri na sa rising action gihapon ni siya. So isa sa iya sa ni tawag gani isa sa quotation, I quote it here, we pass through walls of piled bones with cask and puncheons and tenons. So ang setting ani kay di ba na ato na sila sa ano no sa they are already in the house of Montresor. Underneath it is na yung mga wine. So ning adto na sila hang duha didto kay lagi ang isa nagpahambog, ang isa pod is nanay plano, but we're not gonna talk about it. So ang nahitabo nani is accordingly sa pag-ingon sa book, ang description sa book is we pass through walls of piled bones with cask and puncheons intermingling. So giset na dito ang setting wherein ko anak claustrophobic na no kay murag dako gamay na ang kanang sitaw gana unsettling na kayo ang pananaw sa palibot. By the time when I was reading it, I become to have a sense of like Fortunato isn't tearing up track. So although he remains unaware because he was like trying to elevate himself nga di siya papildi kabalo lagi siya about sa mga wine sumukuyod jud siya, so he remains unaware of whatever intoxication and arrogance because of that, no? Sunod-sunod na jud siya. So kani pod si Montresor while they were going deeper and deeper into the catacombs, nakita na nila the catacombs, when they were going deeper, nagpretend gihapon siya nga ga-care siya ni Fortunato's health. Kay kani mo si Fortunato's health, it was mentioned na na siya more severe cough, nagaubo siya. So ginaingon niya nga ay dili na lang tamo dayon kay una para ba kay ubo basig magubo-ubo ka diri taman, but you will not see the wine, something like that. Anyway, ning dili man gusto nga ma-feel ni Fortunato nga weak siya, di siya gusto nga ma-express niya nga weak siya. So ning go gyapon siya, no, I can stay. We can carry on. We're having fun. We're having little jokes here about wine. So ano daw? O siya kabalunong nga ni internet siya something. So nganong gidala man siya dadto ni uh, Montresor. Nganong gidala man siya dadto? Nganong why? What's the reason? Diba? We don't know about it yet. So, yeah, he goes there and then proceed na ta sa climax. Okay. So here in the climax of the story dili na ning occur wherein na tara quote unquote si tawag ni in an instant he had reached the extremity of the niche and finding his progress arrested the rock stood stupidly bewildered. So as you can see in the picture, no, during a time where they were going deeper into the catacomb, no, kay suddenly is gikuha na dayon siya si tawag na um gidakop na dayon siya ni kuan ni sorry I'm spacing out. Gidakop na din siya ni Montresor, gikuan iyahang kamot tapos gibitay siya og kali. And he thought it was just a joke and that they need to, oh, let's go back. O, kala niya nga joke ra si Montresor nga, oh, let's go back to the carnival. Let's, my family, um, my wife is waiting for me there, waiting for us there. I think we should go back. Muna na siya iniyahang gusto imin. But then, when nagkadugayan na naay gibuhat si Montresor while he was tied up, naay gibuhat si Montresor, no? Let's see the next slide. Oh, this one. So, makita ninyo, no, nga ana siya, I laid the first tire of masonry. So, I laid the first tire of masonry. So, ang gimin man gud niya when it comes to masonry, a while ago, wala ko naka-mention, pero when they were going deeper into the catacombs, isa sa mga um, conversation or banter jokes nga ilahang nakuan is when Fortunato offers a hand, something that signals it's something to do with brotherhood, with fraternity. So, more na yung mga hand sign na kailangan nila buhaton. Pero, kani si Montresor, dumbfounded kay siya, kay wala siya kabaloon sa to siya nga sign. So, like, ikatawan na siya ni Fortunato, kay, mura bitaw ka ng something like, ingana, as an act of like, you are part of the brotherhood, or you are part of this fraternity. So, and in the fraternity was Freemasonry. So, mm, mao to siya. Dayon, kaning iyang gingon dili I lay the first tire of masonry. So kani siya nga line, accordingly daw ang I lay the first tire of masonry. This is part of the lines that those who are part of the masonry are reading. So part ni sa mura ni sa kung sulod kag Freemason, naay murag preamble o kani siya nga line part ni siya didto. So, di ba, going back to the actual scenario, kay tied up naman siya si Fortunato. So, while Fortunato was tied up, ang sige yaw si Fortunato nga tana manguli na tayo ay sige joke diha I cannot see the wine where's the cask of Amontillado. So dira pa lang nga part may bala na lang nato nga gidala di siya didto ni Montresor just to deceive and manipulate him with the weakness niya nga boastful kaayo siya para madala siya didto o para why nga nang gidala niya dito nganong iyahang tabunan man niya. So wala jud siya explicitly giingon no kung unsa jud ang sala ni Fortunato sa iyaha. It's just that nahibala na nato sa character da ni Fortunato nga boastful siya nga pagkatao nga feeling know it all nga ana bitaw nga mga instances ni Fortunato maybe murag naka-joke guro siya about ni Montresor and then na-offend si Montresor and that's why all this murder thing happened. So mao to gikuan niya si Fortunato gidala niya dito sa ilalom just to flatter him nga na ay cask of Amontillado pero wala man jud ay cask of Amontillado sa ilalom kay one thing na notice pa lang daan when I was reading it, I was looking for the terms, the terminology. So, there's a different, when he was saying sa conversation nila ni Lucchesi, kay ana siya manggod na, oh, kabalo ko sa mga wine, I know how a wine taste, I know how cherry taste, I know how Amontillado taste, I know how this kind of wine taste, because I am expert with Italian wine. And when I was looking up through the Google, cask of Amontillado, I mean, Amontillado is a wine. Ang giingon ni Fortunato is, he is expert in Italian wine. I know how Amontillado tastes, different from cherry wine. Pero ang Amontillado nga wine is not an Italian wine. Amontillado wine is a Spanish wine. So what happens there is boastful lang jud siya sa fact nga na siya expertise with regard to wine, pero wala jud siya hanaw kung unsa na. He just want to show off and to brag about things. So dadto palang daan, deceivable na kayo siya, pro na kayo siya nga ma-deceive. Kabalo na daan si um, Montresor nga dali ra kay siya mailad. So ang gibuhat niya, kabalo di kag mga wine dalon ti kas akong cask of Amontillado. Duo ra pud dayon si Fortunato ning kuyog ra pud siya ni Montresor. So now what happens is, so nahitabo walay wine pero naay kamatayon nga gahulat sa iya at the end. So I laid the first tire of masonry. Ang sunod nga panghitabo ni tanaw ha, balik sa slide. So ang nakita mo diri mo na siya, di ba? Ang diri pa lang dan gitied siya. So na imagine ning hawa sila sa carnival, ning adto sila sa balay ni Montresor sa ilalom na kunoy wine. Pero walay wine, so nahitabo gidala ra siya dadto para ihigot para ana nakita ninyo sa picture. And then nag-start na dayon siya, I laid the first sa to I laid the first tire of masonry. Hantod sa walay, ang nakita na lang is ang iyahan na lang nawong. Look at that. Look at the difference. Diba? Muuna ang gibuhat ni Montresor kay Fortunato. Now, ang nahitabo ani, this is, while nahitabo na siya, tora, another visualization is, mao na lang ni, gikulong na siya dito sa sulod. So, another nahitabo dito sa falling action paghihapon ni siya is, sigig pakaluoy si Fortunato kay Morg na figure out naman niya nga dili na joke, no? So ana siya, for the love of God, Montresor, gusto niya i-express nga please buhi ko, pero ning reply na pod si Montresor nga yes, for the love of God, no? These two quotation really have something to tell about revenge, about meaning making of the characters. For the love of God, Montresor wanted to go out from it. Yes, for the love of God, craving for something that is already fulfilled. Diba? So that's what's happening. Tara. For the love of God, Montresor, in an instant, he had reached the extremity of the niche, and finding his progress arrested by the... diba? Next is, so, di ba, ang nahitabo nato is wala day wine hitabo, tapos dito na siya gipriso di siya dito, gisamintuhan di siya mga kuan. Dayon, ang pinaka last line or denouement or resolution sa story manggod ang nahitabo is kani nga quote, for the sana half, what is half a fourth, I'm sorry, I can't register anything. Okay. So, ang nahitabo, for the half of a century, no mortal has ever disturbed. Sana? No mortal has disturbed them. So, kana nga line, gi-confirm na niya nga ang lawas day ni Fortunato, nara siya dito. So, ang resolution ng ani ha, so after niya atong gikulong na siya dito sa catacomb, also implying, no, kay di ba na discuss nato earlier nga ang catacomb is the brewery, the buried places or the graveyard of all the rich families. So it is also referring dadto siya mamatay kay part man siya ditong mga tao. It's implying that because he is a rich person. So Fortunato is a rich person with boastful attitude. So mo to ang nahitabo ni pagkahuman sa nahitabo nga yahan ang gikulong na dito, yan ang gisiminto, what it 50 years no after the murder, murag ging ingon dayon ang line manggod is for the half of century no mortal has disturbed them. So mura bag after a decade, I don't know, a century, half of the century, 50 years lagi, 50 years is wala na dayon, wala na nakitaan. So si Fortunato na bininto iyahang bukog, iyahang kalansay is nara dito. Dayon, gikuan po dire ang pinakalas na dayon nga line niya sa iyahang book nga gibutang is in pace requiescat. So when I was looking for the meaning of it, this is written in Latin. In the meaning of it is rest in peace. And a lot of critics I've seen online in their podcast, no, in their post, especially in YouTube, um, this can mean parallel either to Montresor or Fortunato. Fortunato in a sense that he finally rests in peace in the catacombs, untouched, unbothered, undisturbed for half of the century. That's rest in peace. While also others would say that rest in peace is Montresor looking in the mirror, finally being resolved. I'm sorry. Finally, the conflict that he had been feeling just to get revenge is finally resolved. So rest in peace for the things that I have already done for revenge. So things like that. No? So mo na tong nahitabo sa story. Now you know the story of the cask of Amontillado. Now you know that it might be just a simple story, but it has a lot of underlying meaning that it will not um a day is not enough to discuss about it according to some. Okay, now let's proceed to the theme of um these stories. Okay, so first theme is revenge can consume human morality. So one particular line, pinaka first line jud nga iyang gisulat dito sa Caso of Amontillado is the thousand injuries of Fortunato I had borne as best I could. But when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. Di pala nga line o nga, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. Kana pala nga line suggests that nano conflict na nahitabo nilang duha. Pero we don't know because it was not explicitly explained. Karagak sa tayo. No? She just vowed revenge and was able to do perfect crime. No? Yeah. The 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 quote there, a thousand injuries of Fortunato I had borne as I best could. Iyaha yung gihurt, no? There are some parts nga iyahang gihurt. Si Fortunato when he was like killing him there, no? So kani palang nga theme, no? Revenge can consume human morality. Shows na nga ang obsession ni Montresor with revenge leads him to commit a murder without guilt or remorse, no? uh, ang sa tawag Edgar Allan Poe's capturing or writing or presenting revenge not as justice but as something psychologically destructive. Yes. Yeah, I think that phrase captures it all. Now let's proceed to the second. So pride can become a person's greatest weakness. Lucchesi canatel amontillado from chair. O mo ni siya akong gingon. Wherein, sito gani, si Fortunato bitaw kay sanay ang ego ba ni Fortunato bitaw kay gipush jud niyang self ba nga know it all or kabalo jud bitaw siya tanan siya nga Lucchesi ka na tell Amontillado from Cherry because I am an expert of Italian wine, pero turns out Amontillado is not an Italian wine, it's what, it's a Spanish wine. So kana pa lang di ba no, regarding his wine expertise, blind na siya to recognize sa manipulation nga moabot next, di ba? No? Okay, next is appearances and friendliness can hide dangerous intention. I think we've seen a lot of themes like this, not just in one book, but a lot of books, especially something that depicts sa real life jud bitaw. Pero ano siya? My dear Fortunato, you are luckily met. kani siyang conversation na hitabo ni siya during the carnival season katong insuryahanay pa sila dito. So ingana ba no, ang gusto ipahayag diri ni Edgar Allan Poe na how deception can exist beneath politeness, social interaction, and complement words. No? Yeah. Now let's proceed to the next. The human mind is capable of psychological darkness. So, I must not only punish but punish with impunity. Oh, one thing na wala po din ako na-discuss about na tell inyo as a story is kani siya nga line mauni siya ang sige tawag ni motto sa Freemasonry. So when they were having a conversation going down into the beneath the catacombs, when they were going down speaking about fraternity, tapos wala di ka recognize si Montresor about sa handshake, and na di sila yung motto nga I must not only punish but punish with impunity. So ito no, implying pa lang, gigamit niya ang motto sa Freemasonry to apply sa isa ka book nga sulod sa Masonry. Kaya man siya kasulod. I think this also attacks or portray the scenario between those that are outcasted from the group and those that what can do of the outcast. Diba? So, yeah, I think overall, that is the story of the Cask of Amontillado, and I hope that you learned something from me today. Bye. Thank you.